Yeah.
Is it working?
It feels like I'm on a ship.
I know, it is a bit, isn't it? Yeah. Bring the cocktails, please. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. Great night last night doing that the dating show.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was really good.
Did it in mass murder?
Pardon?
Did it in mass murder?
Yes, she did try to stab me. Strange woman, just trying to stab me.
Did you get to date someone?
Yeah, John Daly.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, brilliant. I bet he was delighted.
Well, it was funny because there was a screen there, you know. So this is the one you rejected, and Wendy came out. And there's another one you rejected, and John Daly came out. It's all these people coming out. It was very good though. It was good fun.
Oh, thanks for a good evening.
Oh yeah.
And how many Long Island iced teas did you have?
None. No.
Really?
Did you have any iced teas?
No, I didn't. It's just red wine.
Long Island red wine, close enough.
I had brandy when I was doing the dating game, yeah.
Because we colloquially call this convention the Long Island Iced Tea Convention.
Yes.
Because that's what it means to us. So, according to the schedule, we were going to talk about the Bowl Snowmen and Yeti. But I thought, if we do that, we'll only be here for 5 minutes. So, I thought maybe we need to expand this out a little bit. So I was going to just ask Frazer by asking you, did you actually watch Doctor Who? Excuse me.
He's not dead yet.
You're right.
I'm fine. Did you actually watch Doctor Who before appearing in it?
I did, yes, because I fancied Maureen O'Brien. Yeah, so I used to watch it for her. Not for the show at all. And then, of course, when they said they were going to be in it, then she wasn't in it. Because I thought, oh, yeah, going to be in it, then she wasn't in it because she'd left by then.
Oh, that's
But I used to go and watch the horse racing on TV, go down to the betting shop at 5 o'clock, come back and then watch Doctor Who.
So you had some idea that it was a sort of science fiction show with monsters
Oh yes,
creatures and
yeah.
alien planets and all this kind of nonsense.
Except my story had no monsters in it at all.
Well, that was it, because you started in the Highlanders.
Yeah, the Highlanders.
And there was no monsters at all.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
But again, with the Highlanders, we go to it.
Take this water, Graham. I'll be right back.
All right. Should we just pause until you come back? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've lost my train of thought now.
Highlanders
Yeah,
was.
that's why, yes. So I thought it was going to be 4 episodes, and we're all meant to be Highlanders. So Hannah Gordon, myself, and Donald Blissett said we'd have to be having a Highland accent, a bit like that, because that's the way they talked. And then when I realised we were going to be in for a long time, I thought it's not very good emotion. Oh, doctor, look at the size of that monster. He'll be after Jesus. It's not quite the same. So I sort of watered it down to what I call my television stories. And it's more, look out, doctor, the Daleks here. You can get more drama into it. So I sort of changed my accent.
So the first monster that you encountered would have been...
Zaroff was next, was the menace,
next.
and that was no monsters.
Well, fish people.
Yes, I suppose so, yeah. And then there's the moon base. That was
right.
Cybermen.
So now you've got the Cybermen coming in.
And then I did have a lot of dialogue because the scripts are written sort of, 2-3 months ahead. And of course, Jane wasn't in the script. So that's why I just had to go, it's a Phantom Piper! And then Annika was to come in, mop my brow, give me a cup of tea, and the Phantom Piper! Easiest money I've ever earned. Yeah. Terrific. And having a little Annika look after me.
Was that the one where you literally did sort of just doze off during rehearsals or whatever? You were just lying there on this couch and all this stuff's going on around you.
I did a TV show, a live TV show called Emergency Ward 10, when I was about 18 or 19. And I was being operated on. It was a medical wing. And I had my eyes closed and the hot lights, live TV, I fell asleep. And it was live television. The next thing I knew, my dresser, Frazer, And he's taking the operating gown off and putting me into pyjamas. What are you doing? Put the pyjamas, why? Put your Tim Birch. Who is your Tim? Who is? It's emergency, what Tim? What is your? And I'm panicking. And he threw me onto the bed. And as he left the shot, the red light came on, camera. Peter Madden, who was playing my father, came in and said, Tim, there you are. And, what? Yes, father, yeah. And carried on with the scene. And afterwards, we wrapped, and we were up in the bar afterwards. And Cecil Petty, who was a producer, stroke director, he came up and said, Frazer, I've used you quite a few times. I said, yes, I've worked with a lot. He said, and that's the best acting you've ever done. I really felt you didn't know where you were. I didn't have the heart to tell him. I didn't know what I was doing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, live TV felt funny. God, I was relaxed, wasn't I?
So what did you?
One of the other doctors, he had this huge dialogue, this illness he had to say to somebody, and so in the rehearsals, he wrote in lipstick in the basin, and he's washing his hands and doing I think she's got fulminating ulcerative. Oh, he really? He kept it rehearsal. Then, of course, when the live transmission came, he turned the taps off, which he had to do, and he starts to wash his hands, and suddenly realises he's washed all the lipstick. So this patient had bumped to the ititis or something, he just made up some name. But good fun. Live television in those days was good fun.
It's quite challenging.
Oh yeah.
So what did you make of the Cybermen? I mean, it was your first encounter with...
Well, they're always taller than us for a start.
Yes.
And I think they're my favourite monster because there's no emotion. You can't see any emotion at all. Just two dots and that funny little voice. But no, I like the Cybermen. And the Daleks, of course. I was dying to do a Dalek show, and when we came up to you were doing the Daleks. And there's an unwritten law, you must never touch the props or mess around, and Stuart Spacky and that. Right. So,
We're shipping up.
He'll be back.
Yes, I shall return. I'll be back. So I went upstairs at lunchtime, and I jumped into this Dalek, pulled the lid down, I'm a Dalek, and I heard something coming. I thought, could be a problem. So I just sat in this Dalek, and these two actors came up. Because you can't see inside Dalek, you can see out. And they leant on me, and they were saying, this director couldn't direct a beat to be dirty, the dialogue's crap, and actors all. And I heard, after about 3 minutes, I heard that and I just ran away from them. And it's just like leaning against a wardrobe, it's under the wardrobe. And so I got free beer for the rest of the week, you know.
Because one thing that I think was quite interesting at the time was that the voices of the Cybermen and the Daleks, I think, they were actually done at the time.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
They weren't sort of done afterwards or anything.
No, the Dalek operators, they had to learn the dialogue.
Yes.
Even though they weren't, Peter Hawkins was sitting in a little booth, but they had to learn the real doctor, so their little ears would be flashing.
Yes.
So they had to do it. Now I think the actual operator does the dialogue, doesn't he?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the same with the Cybermen, because as you mentioned, they got a little flap in the mouth that kind of flapped down. So the actor in the Cybermen needed to know the dialogue because he needed to know when to open his flap.
Yeah.
So as you say, Peter Hawkins sitting off to one side could do the, you will be like us or whatever he's saying in line with the flap going. It was all very complicated, it seemed.
Because Peter Hawkins had a little funny thing.
It was a palate.
False palate.
Vibrator thing, wasn't it?
So when you came up.
You gave it that amazing. I love that Cyberman voice. I always think that's the best voice.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Cyberman voice.
And of course, with Bernard Breslow, the first ever Ice Warrior, it was his idea for the hissing, because he said we're reptilian, so let's be. So it was Bernard's idea because it was just written normal, but we are not your doctors.
Yeah. It was a great physical performance as well from Bernard.
Yes.
As Fargo, which when you see the episodes, you realise what he actually put into it.
In matter of fact, once he got into the costume, it could have been one of the extras. He could have been sitting in an armchair and just done the dialogue. But he said, no, I'm going to play this Ice Warrior. I want to be an Ice Warrior. So he actually did all the
The
movies.
little thing with a head going kind of up and down.
Yes.
So, kind of going up and down into the body and everything.
Because he was lovely. He was a lovely man as well.
Yeah.
Very.
How tall was he? He was enormous, wasn't he?
He must have been 6 foot something. I was 5'8" at the time. I've shrunk a bit now. I think he was 6'2", something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lovely photograph in one of the magazines with him and I think Wayne Padbury. No, Sonny Caldina. It was Sonny.
Sonny.
Because he's no longer with us, but he passed away recently, didn't he?
Recently.
He was a gentle giant. Because he played Kemal the Turk in England's Diet to begin with, and then of course he became a monster as well.
Yeah. You had a lot of fun with Sonny, didn't you?
Oh,
he was to love.
Yeah, I can't tell that story.
You can't tell that joke. Is it too early in the day? Put your hand up if you're a child.
Yeah.
Goo goo gaga.
There's no children in the room.
Well, this is true story.
If you get offended easily, block your ears.
Yeah.
Warning given.
I get offended. I was 21 years old, very impressionable, and we were standing in the gents' toilet, and I looked down and went, Sonny, how can I get mine as big as yours? And he said, Frazer, every night I go home and I soak it in beans. Heinz baked beans? No, human beings. And I told this story to people in the area, and when we were doing a commentary, and Sonny was sitting on the commentary table, I started to tell that story, and Sonny went, yeah, and I said human beings, and they went, we thought that was one of Frazer's stories. I said, no, I said that.
Human beings.
Yes, human.
Absolutely not.
And of course, I've told the story the other day, some of you may have heard or not, but the way ice warriors kill people, that the actor would run up to a shiny, shiny rubber mirror, and instead of the camera looking at the actor, it shot the mirror. So there was a handle at the back, and as the ice warrior kills, the prop would pull, and the mirror would do that, and it looks like the actor was actually convulsing and getting killed. And I wanted to take it to tape, and the ice warrior went, yeah, kill, and the prop went, the handle came off. So the mirror just stood there, and the ice warrior went, shit, I missed the bugger. That was Bernard Frazer. Yeah. It's very disconcerting because once he was bolted in to that, he couldn't sit down. So his dresser had a shooting stick, there was ram it up his bottom so he could lean back. And if you were doing a scene he wasn't in, at the corner of your eye you could see his ice warrior on a shooting stick reading a racing paper.
Very distracting.
Yeah.
Very distracting. So the Yeti were fairly soon in. I mean, I think we kind of. We haven't talked about it. We talked about the macra. Do you remember much about the macra? Giant crabs?
Oh, yeah, they were not a very favourite story.
No. Love the macra.
There's no such thing as mackerel.
There's no such thing as macra.
They're good with butter.
We're getting it all wrong. Yeah, except with butter.
Yeah.
Oh, you had some of that the other night, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Macra on the plate.
And of course, that was the first time you saw Jamie without a kilt.
Yes.
Because we had those orange suits, Bermuda shorts, the double-breasted thing. Of course, when the cartoon came out, the animated, I said to one of the animators, I said, so did you get the right colour orange? What? The suits we were wearing. What suits? I said, we were in orange suits. You weren't in a kilt? No. Oh.
Whoops.
Oh, bugger.
So I said, listen, actors remember these things. Next time you do a story, ring me up and say, what colour was that? Or what colour, was it itchy? Because we know that jacket had to wear was all itchy. You remember the costume.
Yeah.
And of course, what it was, they'd gone from the script, and in the actual script, there was a scene where Polly and Jane were talking, and John Davis, the director, said, well, I don't want you to just sort of sit there talking. I said, well, because I've got this orange suit on, why isn't Polly adapting James' kilt, like cutting the top off and making it into pleats and stuff like that. So that's why we did it. But of course, it wasn't in the script.
That's right, yeah. So you know about it. Yeah, but you don't remember much about the macro props?
Yes,
themselves,
it cost about £5,000, which was the price of a mini car in those days. And it was useless. All you could do was that. And if you had to get trapped, you had to go, oh, this got me by the leg. And just stick your leg.
Stick the leg
And stick it to the floor.
Yeah.
And because you couldn't move, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do... No, not a very good one. No. I think it was better animated.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah. So what do you remember about Abominable Snowmen? Let's move on to that story. Was that the first time you'd gone sort of slightly further afield with the location?
Yeah, we shot in Wales, yeah.
That's right.
Went up Snowdonia.
Because Highlanders was at French and
Ponds.
which is kind of fairly near London, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, just near Farnham, Guildford, and that sort of area.
Yeah.
And then we went on location, which was great. We were there for about a week. Yeah, there's the Yeti.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
They look like furry rocks.
But we were getting chased, Debs and I were getting chased, and we were overtaken by a Yeti rolling down the hill because he slipped. Boing, boing, boing.
The poor actor. Boing, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I love it. Who's that?
They're getting smaller and smaller. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's the makeup lady, I think, or the costume lady.
Well, in the fur. Now we actually, when we did the documentary for the album, I walked around the corner and they didn't tell me, and there was the TARDIS there in the same spot,
Exactly the right spot.
which was very good. Oh, bless.
But it must be one of the costume assistants
Yeah.
or something, because I think Martin Ball was a costume
I think that's Martin
Is that Martin? It's like a lady.
with a moustache.
That almost looks like
And Martin-
Susan.
Sideburns. Yeah, maybe it is Martin.
Yeah.
From the side, it looks like Susan, the doctor's
It
granddaughter.
does.
Yeah.
You're right. I think
And what about the person standing next to them?
Looks like a muppet that fell in the mud.
Sorry.
Why does the TARDIS look so bad?
I know it looks
It's very bad,
beaten up,
isn't it?
beaten up, doesn't it?
Very big.
Needs a paint job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Could that be John Levine in there?
No, I think that was before. I think his person was in the underground.
Oh, one of the Yetis was Jeff Whitehead, I think.
Red Whitehead.
Red Whitehead.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right, yeah. And he actually dated Debbie Watling.
Did he?
Yeah, and they went out for dinner, went to a nightclub, and there was dancing, and he just had to pick her up, and her feet were like that, dangling like that.
Is she holding her jacket out or is she pregnant?
I suspect it's, a jumper or something. Who knows?
But Jerry Davis, Jerry Blake,
Jerry Blake, yeah.
the director, he was great. He always had a little half bottle of vodka in his pocket, and if we were cold, he said, "Would you like a little tink?" Very good.
She wasn't just a Yeti rolling down the hill.
And Deb, she was sweet and that. She was very cute in her little knickerbocker outfit.
Yes.
Very sweet.
Yes.
Miss her lots.
The TARDIS needs a coat.
Jack Watling.
Oh, Jack was wonderful. He was a movie star, you know. A Night to Remember, and Reach for the Sky, all these big, the Sea Shall Not Have Them. He was a film star, and we were very lucky to get a lot of movie stars in Doctor Who. It was a prestigious show to be in. But he just joined in, mucked in with us straight away, and fooled around and made Debbie laugh and frightened her.
It was a good team, wasn't it?
Mm.
It was a good team. And I think One More Snowman's story had the first earlier example of kind of some of that rapport coming through on the screen, checking the script. Yeah. In the scene where Jane has an idea.
Oh, yeah.
I love that scene.
Victoria, Jamie's got an idea. And he yes.
Let's get out of here.
Yes.
That was very, very
We
good.
had a happy show. Either people say, was it hard work? Now, actually, if you go down a mine, it's hard work. Or you're putting out 1,000 washers with ear defenders in a factory, that's hard work. Sure, there were days you go, oh, God, I've not learned 25 pages of dialogue tonight. Sure, there was the odd days, but You never went to work thinking, oh, I hope Patrick's in a good mood, I hope Debbie hasn't fallen out with the boyfriend. You never ever felt, you know, oh, that's my favourite pictures there.
Oh. What is
Furry
exactly
couch.
going on there, Fraser?
I call it happiness is a warm yeti.
What's the weirdest time I've ever seen? And what about the kilt? Frazer's a human being.
Yes. I wish I'd kept my kilt though. I never thought 40 odd years later I'd be doing conventions. Otherwise I would have kept that kilt.
Was that your first kill on the big game ranch?
Like the first, yeah.
First kill. Oh dear. They were massive, those costumes though, weren't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
I think they were bamboo frames covered with this.
I think they were very light though. They weren't heavy.
Yeah.
They were very light. As you said, with the bamboo frame, it
Yeah.
wasn't like something you had to be heavy on your shoulders.
Yeah.
But
Do you remember much about the scene where I think it was you and Patrick had to kind of stop a ball from going in the Yeti on location? It was the little balls were like robotic,
yeah,
but obviously in that particular instance,
Yeah.
you would have been just doing like Marcel Marceau. You
Yeah,
trying to push this ball or whatever.
yeah, we had to do a bit of mine. Because the actual thing had little tiny wheels
Yes.
underneath.
Yes.
So,
Run around. Yes. So I think after the Yeti one, I'm trying to remember, what was the next one? Come on guys, help me out here. Was it 2?
2 minutes time there.
Definitely wasn't the two doctors.
No, it wasn't. That was a lot later.
A lot later.
I think you were back up against the Sidemen again, 2 with the Sidemen.
Oh yeah, Maurice Barry, the director, was not the best man with a sense of humour at all. And it was Patrick's idea we had to do it on the tape. We were supposed to take Victoria's hand, but we took each other's hand, we can and carried on with the scene, and then cut. And Maurice Barry, Victoria, was furious. But I think it was Peter Bryan, the producer, no actual fact. We needed that little bit of humour. He said, we've seen Toblerone, getting...
Toberman. Toberman closed door.
Somebody getting killed, He said, we just need that little bit.
You don't know what's going to be in there, it's very creepy.
So Peter Bryan was happy with that, And of course, Denny said, I thought, what's the point, Denny? It's my hand. Because we didn't tell her.
There's lots you could tell her.
Last year we did a lot of acting.
That's brilliant. Do you remember Michael Kilgareth?
Yeah, he was the...
Silent controller guy, yeah.
He was, again, very tall. Well, they're all tall, but at one point we thought we were the smallest show on earth because everybody was tall except us 4, or us 3, But Michael Kilgareth, he was huge. He was very, very tall.
And with that helmet on, it was just towering above everything.
And one of the other side of it got me collecting coins and old pennies and sixpences and stuff. And I found them the other day, and I thought, actually, they were worth some money. Oh, there he is, there, look.
Oh, there he is. Hello.
Jiffy Pop.
Yeah. he's been drinking milk.
Shake and bake.
He's been drinking milk, that one. Yeah. Oh, I love that story. I always loved Two the Sidemen. It was fantastic.
Great story.
We wanted it outside. 2 minute making serve.
Was that one of the first funniest stories that was recovered?
I think it was, yes.
First one that was what?
Recovered.
I remember when he came back.
It might have. I mean, there are obviously some that existed before that. But you might be right, yeah. You might be right.
That was difficult for them, the actors.
Yeah.
Because you can't see out of your helmet very well, and have to come out and then climb down that ladder. That was at Ealing Studios, and that wasn't live, that was at the studios. Filmed inside.
The ladder looks like something you